For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 22 of the Southampton Career Mode series here on FIFA 18. Before we go any further in this season roundup, if you haven't seen yesterday's relegation battle finale, watch that first. You have to see that first before you watch this, okay? Good, go and do it, because spoilers are happening, okay? We had an indifferent season. One that I've never experienced on Career Mode before in a YouTube series, and we were threatened by relegation pretty much the entire season. We did, however, avoid the drop. Something Liverpool were not able to do. Manchester United won the league by 10 points from Manchester City. Spurs finished third and Chelsea fourth. Arsenal only fifth, so Europa League football for them. Bournemouth and Crystal Palace finishing 6th and 7th. Everton down in 11th. But Liverpool Football Club will be in the Championship next season. That's the thing. We survived on the final day thanks to a 2-1 victory against Manchester City. I don't know how I pulled it off, but we were able to do it. We were 18th leading into the final game, and with a 12th win of the season, we were able to get ourselves not only out the relegation zone, but out of 17th as well, and actually finished 2 points clear of the drop. Liverpool on 40 points, Huddersfield on 30, and Newcastle only on the 28. Other competitions we were involved in this year, we didn't do well in domestic cups. In the FA Cup, we got knocked out early on by Cambridge United, of all teams. Then in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out early on by Wigan Athletic. Pre-season, we got knocked out in the semi-finals. In the Champions League, though, Chelsea win the Champions League by a 0-0 over Real Madrid. Well done, Chelsea. Pleased to see that as a Chelsea fan, I have to be honest. Bordeaux win the Europa League by 2-1 against Arsenal, though. Scenes as Arsenal lose in European finals. The World Cup is ongoing. I will probably go into greater depth in that when we head into the second season, when obviously group stage games have been played and knockouts are in progress, etc. So we'll have a look at that a little bit more in the second season as we get underway. We'll have a quick look around the other leagues in Europe to see who'll be. Wow, that's how used to being successful I am. I was about to say the sentence, to see who'll be joining us in Europe next season. We're not going to be in Europe next season. Just out of curiosity, Aston Villa and Cardiff City will be joining us in the Premier League next year, and one of Wolves, Forest, Wednesday or Norwich will also be in the Premier League, with Burton, Queen's Park Rangers and Barnsley relegated. Just out of curiosity, I want to see where Cambridge United finished. They finished 9th. Alright, fair enough. And for reference with the Road to Glory series, Wimbledon got relegated and finished bottom of League One. So the fact that we're mid-table in the RTG series after a couple of episodes and a few months is actually not that bad with the way things are going for them in this save. In France, Paris Saint-Germain win the league on goal difference ahead of Marseille, both finishing on 89 points. Monaco in third and Lyon fourth. Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga by a margin from Dortmund, and then Schalke in third, Leverkusen fourth, Leipzig only sixth with all their money to spend. Juventus win the Scudetto with Roma second, Napoli third, Inter fourth and AC Milan in fifth, Lazio down in sixth. Only a point separating Juve and Roma though. And then in Hispania, when we eventually get all the way over there, Porto win in Portugal, Moscow, CSK Moscow win in Russia, Celtic win in Scotland, and Real Madrid win by 3 points. And 4 points from Barcelona and Atleti, respectively. The three of them a mile away from Sevilla in fourth. But who won the Golden Boot? Initially, as we were progressing through the series, through this first season, it looked like Charlie Austin was most certainly going to win it, as he was leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. Then he didn't score for like 10 games. The last goal of the season the winning goal against Manchester City, the one that kept us up, was his final goal of the season and his first from open play in about 10 games. He scored a penalty in the episode before that. But he wins the Golden Boot, Charlie Austin, with 29. I would not have stayed up without him. Leroy Sané of Manchester City with 26. And then down on 17 was Lukaku. Quincy Promes, interestingly, on 17 as well. So we had one of the best attacks in the league and the worst the worst defence in the league. Assist-wise, James Ward-Prowse with 16, Promes up there too, and Charlie Austin. Offensively, we had a very good season. Defensively, we did not. Lodgin with the Golden Glove with 11 clean sheets for Crystal Palace. David De Gea on 10. How many clean sheets did I get? Oh. 3, 4. And Anna got 4. I don't know how many McCarthy got. I will check, but he's not in the top 25 at least. I had a really bad season defensively. I did actually pick up a red card this year as well, actually. I very, very rarely do it. But we did pick up a red card for 2 yellows for Mario Lemina in the final game of the season. It's very unlike me, but actually that held up the play and meant that we kind of saved ourselves against Manchester City. With regards to board expectations, want us to increase the club worth by 20%. We've done 20% of that, so the club worth has gone up by 4%. Great. Let's just go through it option by option. We weren't able to do the short-term youth development one. I didn't quite play the youngster enough that came up, but I'm sure we'll be able to get the long-term one there. Play at least 50% of the games in the next season, and the way he's growing, he will be involved heavily next year. £26.4 million made from shirt sales within a season. We did that quite comfortably financially. That's the club growth one. Domestic success. Finished mid-table. We finished 16th, which doesn't clarify as mid-table. Round of 32 was as far as we got in the FA Cup. They wanted us to reach the round of 16. Had we beaten Cambridge United, we would have made it, but we didn't. And they want us to finish in the top 4 within 3 seasons. We have 2 remaining seasons to do that. Obviously, not being in Europe, no continental expectations this year. Wage budget-wise, that's rather large at 950 odd. Why is my wage budget like over £1 million? That's weird. Surely if my wage budget is that high, when I transfer it into transfer budget, it should be a lot bigger than that. Well, I could have a wage budget, if I go all the way this way, is actually probably bigger than my transfer budget. 4574. 4574. 4574. Okay, it's exactly the same, so I could... That's weird. Anyway, moving on. We will be getting a number of boosts to our overall transfer budget next season because of player sales that we were able to negotiate between January and the end of the season. But we'll have a look and see who did what this season with regards to their growth and, of course, mention who's going to be leaving us. Anana went up 1 since we brought him in. Let's see, clean sheets. 4 clean sheets in 14 Premier League games. Alex McCarthy... I didn't keep a single clean sheet in 30 games with Alex McCarthy in goal. Oh. Yeah, that speaks volumes. Anana, though, up 1 overall. Diving, kicking up 3, actually. Reflexes and positioning all growing. Reactions and balance also up 1. Alex McCarthy's reactions went up 8. He's kicking up 3, but no growth in his other goalkeeping stats, which is why Anana came in and flew straight into the number 1 spot. Stuart Taylor will be leaving me at the end of the season, and I really don't care. Jack Rose is still here. His kicking's up by 12 as well. What's going on with goalkeepers' kicking just flying up? I'm not sure. I'll try and loan him out next year, if I can. Valerie, we extended his contracts. He will stay for the time being. Probably look to loan him out, though, as we look to perhaps... Well, I need to strengthen everywhere, don't I? Really. Jeremy P.A., he was all right, actually. I was impressed with him whenever he did play. He didn't play that often, 10 games total, but whenever he did play, he was all right. And it says right back, right mid, left back, but I'd be quite comfortable playing him in a central midfield role as well because of how good an all-round player he is. Surprised not to see any growth. Oh, no, he's 29. Okay, maybe not surprised to see any growth from him. I might consider... I thought he was younger than that. Considering he's 29 and will probably update to 30 once we move into the next season, I might consider selling him on, actually. What's he worth? 2.7 million. Oh, well, we won't raise much, but £55,000 worth of wage budget will be freed up, so that might be worth looking into. Cedric is up 2 this year to 81. One of our higher rated players. No, definitely not a highest rated player since bringing in Quincy Promes, but definitely up there with some of our higher rated players, Cedric. Really, really pleased with him at right back. One of the better defenders, although he did have a couple of games where he made a few mistakes. Alfie Jones is out on loan. He's grown by 2. Great, we'll send him out on loan again. Wesley Hurt, my favoured centre-back, to be completely honest. 24 years of age, growing up 2 to 79. I really like Wesley Hurt. He will be my starting centre-back again next year. Maya Yoshida, 75 rated. He is leaving us, I believe. If I cast my mind back correctly, Maya Yoshida is leaving us, so we will have to replace him. Jack Stevens, up 1 to 72. Was alright whenever he came in. Played 9 Premier League games. Good squad player, not really much more. Henry Harris, however, is growing well. Up 15 to 75. And you can see stand tackle up 20, slide tackle up 23, short passing up 29. Want to make sure that he was good on the ball because, even though it says centre-back and CDM, I have been playing him in a centre-mid role. But obviously he is more defence-minded, so he has been kind of holding back with the 2 centre-mids. But I've been playing 2 centre-mids and a cam rather than 2 CDMs and a centre-mid. But Henry Harris, how tall is he actually? How tall are you, Henry? Stats. 6 foot. I don't know whether to play him at centre-back or not. I guess we'll wait and see what happens next year because we are going to have Jordi Claessy coming back from loan. So Henry Harris might take over at centre-back from Maya Yoshida. Or we could look to buy someone in. I'm not sure. I'll wait for your feedback on that, actually. Ryan Bertrand, 28 years of age, 80 rated. No growth anywhere, but rock solid throughout the season. Matthew Targett grew up by 2 whilst out on loan. He is now back at the club after a loan spell at Fulham. Will be involved, but not heavily so. Sam McQueen was involved, but not heavily so this year, but he will get loaned out or sold, as he's a year older and lower rated. Oriol Romeu, one of my favourite players in this save. Superb in that holding role. 81 rated, fantastic central midfielder. Definitely recommend you look into picking him up. Harrison Reed will come back from loan, I believe. I think it's just a 1 year, not a 2 year. Out on loan at Norwich. I'm not sure whether I'll sell him on or not. He's 23, 71 rated. We could probably do better. Quincy Promes, 26 years of age, 84 rated overall, up 1 this year, as we mentioned, or as we saw earlier. Great season for him. 17 goals, 12 assists in the Premier League, an extra 3 assists in other competitions, 2 coming in the Carabao Cup and 1 in the FA Cup. Great player. We started him off up top, moved him out wide right. Turns out putting Charlie Austin up top was a very good idea. Who knows how our season would have gone if we hadn't made that decision. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg up 4 to 79. Really pleased with his growth this season. Not trained him that heavily either. Short passing is up by 8 to 84. We do have some very good central midfielders, which is why I think Harris will be better utilised at centre-back rather than centre-mid. James Ward-Prowse up 3 to 81 rated this year. He got 7 goals and 19 assists from midfield. Would like him to score more goals. I'm really disappointed with the fact that despite the fact he has great free kick accuracy, actually taking free kicks with him is awfully difficult in game for some reason. Jake Flanagan, 64 rated at 22. I don't know. I'll probably look to loan him rather than sell him. Stephen Davis, I'll look to sell. Unfortunately for him, at 33 years of age, he's just going to be of more worth to me outside of the team. £3.6 million valuation, 69 grand a week is a lot of money. Apologies, I'm getting a phone call from someone random. Jordi Claessy will come back. I thought I had that on mute. Jordi Claessy will come back from loan from Club Rouge in Belgium and will be involved in the squad. Not first team. Obviously, Ward-Prowse and Mario Lemina will remain my number 1 starting midfielders, but he'll probably take Stephen Davis's place as my go-to secondary rotation spot with Højbjerg. Mario Lemina did have a good season, up 3 overall. Good on the ball. Actually did quite well in front of goal, I think. 5 goals and 8 assists for him. Not quite as prolific as James Ward-Prowse, but still a really good all-round player. I did enjoy using Mario Lemina. Nathan Redmond will be leaving us. He's going to grow well in the save. And yes, he has good potential. I just don't get on with him, which is a real shame because he's young and he will grow. I just didn't get on with him. So I made the decision to send him on in January. We will have to look to replace him next year. Josh Sims wants to leave. I can understand why. I might try and keep him though, or maybe loan him out. I'm not sure. It depends how soon we can get replacements in for Nathan Redmond. Callum Slattery, I'll loan him out again. Dusan Tadic, I'll probably look to sell, actually. I didn't like playing with Dusan Tadic. Another player that I just didn't really get on with, unfortunately. So Dusan Tadic will probably be moved on in the summer. Jake Hesketh will come back from loan and then subsequently probably go back out on loan again. Manola Gabbiadini is leaving us. He scored 5 goals in 12 games, 1 in 5 in the Premier League. He will leave us and go to Napoli, back to Napoli, as it happens, for like 24.5 million. So we've done well there. We'll have a decent budget next season, I think. Charlie Austin, 28 years of age, no growth anywhere, 32 goals in 34 games. Thank you for keeping me up, Charlie. You are the only reason why we are still in the Premier League. The only reason why we're still in the Premier League. Why does Mario Lemina? Oh, it's because he's suspended. I was like, why has he got that little symbol next to him? Yes, and 11 assists as well. Superb. Obafemi, growing all right. I'm training him, obviously, as you can see, with his ball control and his dribbling. Might start training his finishing next, because obviously that needs to improve as a striker. But he's only 17 and 67 rated. So he's better than Olamola, who I think is leaving me, actually, as his contract runs out. Indeed he is. Goodbye. Carrillo, I will look to sell him on as well. He scored 1 goal for me in 1 game in the FA Cup. But that was against Cambridge United, so it wasn't exactly the most difficult of games to score a goal in. I'll probably look to sell him on at 27. He's a very similar a player to Charlie Austin. And obviously Charlie Austin is the player of that ilk that we want at the club. Ryan Seeger's back from loan now. I'll look to loan him out again next season. Sam Gallagher is out on loan still. And again, we'll probably look to loan him on next season too. Although I might consider using him a little bit. But I think I'll probably keep Charlie Austin. With selling Gabbiadini, I'll sell Carrillo. And I'll probably buy another striker to help out with Charlie Austin. Probably start ahead of Charlie Austin. If we can get someone like a real marquee striking signing. But defence is where we need to strengthen first. That's why we were where we were in the league table, because my defending was woeful. Marcus Barnes out on loan and will do so again. Justin Cliver up 3 to 78 rated, scored a vital goal against Leicester, or so we thought, until they turned it around thanks to Jamie Vardy, but was instrumental in all of the games that he played, and actually 4 goals and 4 assists from someone that's 19 and still growing is very, very pleasing. Sofiane Boufal is the man that starts ahead of him, though, on the left-hand side. He's also up 2 this year, and towards the end of the season, actually, scored some extremely important goals for me. 10 in total, with 6 assists as well. I like Sofiane Boufal. He will remain my starting left-sided midfielder. So we are looking to strengthen in defence. Yoshida will probably go out. Well, Yoshida is being sold, in fact, so I will take him out. And where are you? Harris will go in, so Harris will start. Who else is leaving me? You're going. So I'll put Obafemi on the bench, because Carrillo is going to get sold as well. And other than that, we'll leave it as is for now. But yeah, defensively is where we're going to strengthen next year. But we'll concentrate on that in episode 1 of season 2 tomorrow, and we'll be able to find out what happens in the World Cup, and also, of course, how much money we'll have to spend. But having conceded 79 goals, which is more than anyone else in the league, we clearly know where we need to improve next year. We scored 69, which is joint highest goal scorers in the league with Manchester City. Just conceded nearly 80 goals. Oh, I still can't quite believe this. I think the parting comment to say, other than drop the video like and subscribe if you haven't already, Liverpool Football Club relegated from the Premier League. I'll see you next time.